Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Andrew Shields, the Interim General Manager of RESO. I have here with me two special guests today, Rachel Coulter and Kate Chalk, both from RESO. And as you are fully aware now with the COVID-19 restrictions, we're looking at options of how to best negotiate sales and transactions in the online space. So Rachel and Kate are absolutely perfectly positioned to help agents. Now, basically, what I'll be doing is asking a couple of questions. Rachel and Kate, welcome.
Thank you, Andrew. We're very happy to be here.
Fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to call up some questions now. So the first question is, with the new restrictions in place, how quickly they are changing. How does the office scenario look different online? Rachel, do you want to answer that?
Thank you. I was just making sure that Kate didn't want to say something first.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's changing day by day, as we know by, watching the news. So we've had some agents that have been working online and, on the road for a little while. But what we find is that they have different pieces of technology, but they also have their office that they can call back on. So they might be on the road and have an appointment and they can just call the office and there's someone there that can support them. They might be lucky enough to have an assistant, and obviously that's going to change now with working at home. So RESO sort of incorporates all of that, the personal assistant, into your pocket and does all of that for you.
Absolutely. Kate, would you add anything in respect of that?
I think the only thing is, as principals, the principals that I've been speaking to, obviously they're very concerned about overheads. And I think an agent said to us very recently, I think as recently as yesterday, Rachel, that he was finding he wasn't using his assistant as much, or his admin as much as he was before for sales, because he was able to do it all online, all on his phone, as he was going between sales and working from home. So I think that's part and parcel of what's going to happen going forward. Is we need to look at our overheads, and RESO should be able to help save costs. Agents are saying that they can save up to 9 hours a sale using RESO, but also that it's making them a lot more independent.
Yeah, and it's just working with efficiencies. So even given the current circumstances and what's going on at the moment, businesses can still find efficiencies in that process. So thank you. Agents are now doing a lot more virtual online tours or meetings, one-to-one, obviously going to show through people in respect of what is the new restrictions are in play. But how can they continue to engage with buyers through RESO?
So obviously what they're used to doing is after initially meeting, that's changing because it's turning to virtual, or they might have had that one of that going into people's homes and negotiating and, signing up a contract is going to look a lot different than what it used to. So it's really important to still be able to build that relationship and have the touch points with your clients, and RESO is instant in that regard. So every time an agent had a conversation, they can underpin that through RESO, and it's going to send them an SMS and an email. So it's creating extra touch points as well as keeping them updated through the whole process. So they're really feeling, super involved, and they're able to access everything.
From that point, absolutely. And Kate, would you add to that in any way?
No, I think I think that just the buyers are wanting more and more information before they go forward, and I think RESO really helps the agent deliver that information and how the buyers want to get that. I think that really helps the agent going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And in respect of Kate, continuing on that theme, the agents are now exploring doing auctions via Zoom or Gavel. How can RESO help with that? And I am actually getting a lot of inquiries saying, how can RESO help in that space? So that would be really helpful. So Kate, maybe kick this one off.
Yep, sure, no problem. So obviously we've just heard of, it's amazing. I'm just amazed by the ingenuity of the agents and what they're coming up with. It's absolutely fantastic considering how much pressure they're under. I mean, we're very used to dealing with a pre-auction situation where, because we have a document portal, you can actually load all the documents up there, and then all the buyers can get invited in there, so they can actually look at the documents from there. Rach, do you want to see how do you want to go through from there as well? So, because for the registration as well.
Yeah. So obviously, at auction, you need to have all of those documents that are available, for the prescribed period beforehand. So all of those can be uploaded to RESO, and all the buyers who are interested in being a part of that auction can be invited into the platform, so they can view all of that information 24/7. The agents might have their own bidding application form, or they might get it from RESO, or I'm not quite sure actually, to be honest, but however that is, they can upload that in there. So what we see at auctions a lot of the time is they're filling that out at the auction at the time, and then they're getting started. So getting that done beforehand and having it all ready to go, and they've been able to view all the documents. Worst case scenario, if the property wasn't to sell under the hammer, you've then actually got all of those buyers within the platform, where you can then invite conditional buyers in as well, and you can then, often after an auction, you're trying to keep track of, where they're up to, so you can use the platform to bring them all back into that negotiation period, and to finalise that transaction.
Fantastic, absolutely. The other thing I'm finding is agents are concerned that an online platform can sort of disconnect them from their clients. How easy is it to learn how to use RESO?
I think in this situation where everything's chaos, I think that's absolutely one of the beauties of RESO. It's so simple to learn and use, to register, to load a property, just to load all the documents. We've made it really, really, really simple to use. And I think that that's important for the agent. I mean, they're under so much pressure at the moment. And if they've got a really simple platform that's easy to use, that the messaging out to all the buyers is really simple, everyone can keep really calm in a pretty manic situation, I think that that's really, really important. So I think that RESO will add some validity to the whole buying and selling process, and I think that that's really important in this time frame. Rach, do you want to add any more to that?
Yeah, that's actually a question that comes up quite a lot, Andrew, is that the agents feel that, that's what they do, is that they negotiate, they build the relationships, and by going to something online, it's going to take them out of the picture. And RESO was actually never designed to do that. And agents who use our platform actually report back to us, I still negotiate the same as what I did. I still have to build that relationship. I still make as many calls as I did before. I still catch up and meet with them if I need to. But RESO is just underpinning all of those conversations, and all of the legalities behind the stage they're up to are getting emailed. So the buyers are really at a time where they can't meet with them and, run through everything. They've actually got all of that behind the scenes that they're able to read beforehand, and then be ready to ask, the agent with questions and that sort of thing.
Absolutely. No, I think that's fantastic. The other thing obviously at the moment you'll have people in the middle of active listings. So how easy is it to bring them into RESO from that point of view? So where do they go in respective? They're in the middle of that transaction. Can they quickly adapt into RESO? Is that possible? How can that work?
Absolutely. So there's a couple of ways they can do that, actually. So we talked about before that agents have different pieces of technology that they use. So RESO actually brings all of those together. So they've got their CRM. We actually integrate with most major CRM, so they can pull a sale straight from the click of a button into RESO. If they're using REI Forms Live, they have the sales agency agreement in there already. The click of a button, that feeds all of that information into RESO as well. And then all they need to do is upload documents and invite buyers, and they're up and running. So RESO basically has 5 steps. So that's all that we need to teach them. There's 5 steps. There's 5 buttons that they go to. So it's super easy and intuitive.
Fantastic. Kate, this is a great one for you. Agents are sometimes confused that RESO is an online auction. What do you say about that?
I think that's it is. I think they are. There's a lot of confusion, but there are obviously online options out there like Gavel and Open Negotiation but I think we're private treaties, so other buyers cannot see the offers that they put in. So that gives a lot of comfort, I think, in this environment, a lot of comfort for buyers. If they're not sure, then they can put an offer in. They know that no one else is going to see it. They can put all their conditions in as well. And then we've got a feature, so that's fine. And then an agent can press, whether you can see me, I think my internet connection is a bit unstable, but basically from there the agent can press a button and with REI forms, and they can create a contract with all those and then present them to the vendor, obviously via email or however we want. We also have a vendor report that can be sent as well. Yes. So just remember, we've designed the platform so it can be with and without contact. So obviously in this case scenario, there is still some contact allowed, but if we go to full lockdown, then RESO is perfectly positioned that they can actually sign on glass. They can do all their contracts online. All the buyers can get all that. We collect all that information on behalf of the agent if they're subject to finance, all those things that the buyer's actually slowly filling out the contract, which they don't really realise for the agent. So the agent can then just push all that information through to the contract. So as far as an online auction go, I mean, we have got a feature which is called a rebid ranking feature, which is how the original platform started.
Yes.
And with that's totally optional. So it's only if you've got a level of competition or you've spoken to your vendor and they like that ranking feature, or you personally like it. So we've got agents that use it all the time, and we've got agents that never use it, that are just using RESO as an online efficiency tool.
Yes.
So the rebid ranking feature is an optional feature where they can, if they feel like they want to, they can actually just press the button and the offers get ranked by price only, not by condition. So you could find out you might be two. So the buyer will get a text message saying the agent has chosen to rank all offers. But obviously we'd be expecting the agent to communicate that they were going to rank offers.
Yes.
The agent has chosen to rank all offers, and your offer is number 2 out of 4 buyers, out of 4 offers.
Absolutely. So I mean,
a lot different to an auction,
yes,
but still gives some competitive interest if the agent chooses to. Again, it's totally an agent tool.
Yeah, so it's an innovation.
What we're finding, I was going to say, what we're finding is it really creates a level of transparency that buyers like. So often buyers hear from an agent that there's somebody else interested. Now, some people will believe that, not a problem, but there's other buyers out there that think, well, of course you're going to tell me that, you're a salesperson.
Yeah.
By using that ranking feature, number one, you don't have to use it, as Kate mentioned, unless you see competitive interest in the platform. And then it will tell them out of how many participants. So your conversation with anybody who's not ranked first, you don't need to actually talk about price. They know they need to come up. It's about how their offer looks. So it changes that conversation and it elevates that. Your conversation with buyer 1, because it doesn't automatically re-rank it. This is something that the agent chooses to do, and they can use it strategically. So for buyer 1, buyer 1, you can see you're ranked at the moment, but there's 4 other participants. They've all received the same message and know they're not first. So they are able to put in their best and final. So you need to make sure this is your best and final as well. Yeah. So it's just really opening it up and creating enough transparency to say, hey, when I said there was other offers, there absolutely is other offers. And you're not sure how to come up, well, this is how many people are in the puzzle. So make sure this is your best and final that you're putting forward.
Which is fantastic, because it's one of the big complaints and one of the difficulties most agents face is the dealing with multiple offers. So this is a fantastic innovation that allows there to be clear, transparent processes around that whole transaction. So that's absolutely fantastic. Kate, probably a good one, or Rachel, I suppose Rachel as well, both of you, in respect of where do we go from here? If an agent is saying, look, I need to change my business practice, I need to get on to RESO, this is going to help me and build, and in this time, give me assurance in this business in respect of where our environment sits at the moment. What does an agent need to do next? What do we need to do?
So they just need to contact us. We've got 2 BDMs on the ground in Adelaide. We are doing Zoom meetings, one-on-one team meetings all day, every day. We are happy to join. We're actually running some info sessions every day for the next 4 days. So an agent's welcome to come online with one of those. So just they can contact us at info@reso.com.au. They can go onto our website, which is just reso.com.au, and fill out an inquiry form, and we'll be in touch with them. Training wise, as I said, 5 easy steps. We can actually send them a video, or we can do that online as well. So we can have them set up, you know, super quickly, answer any questions, and, you know, hold their hand. We're very used to online, something we've been doing for a long time. So we can certainly help them through.
And what I've found